Today's video will cover multiple assessments on measuring flexibility. Your participant should start with a 2 to 5 minute lower body warm-up to improve overall flexibility during the assessments, and to decrease the chances of straining the muscles when performing them cold. Before beginning this test, have your participant remove their shoes. Our first test is called the Canadian Trunk Forward Flexion Test, more commonly known as the standard sit and reach test. This test measures flexibility in the hamstrings. Equipment used for this test include a flexometer or a sit and reach box. Have your participant sit up straight with a fully erect back and legs stretched flat on the floor or mat. With both their hands outstretched in front of them, they will place one hand over the other and push the small tab on the box as far as they can and hold for 2 seconds. Make sure the motion forward to move the tab is slow and controlled. The participant's legs should stay straight at all times during this test, as well as their feet staying flat against the box. This test should be completed 2 times, with the furthest distance being recorded. Once data is collected, we can compare the participant by their age group and gender. Here we have a 21-year-old male with a 31 centimeter reach. Their classification is considered good. The next test is the YMCA sit and reach test. This test also measures flexibility in the hamstrings. Prior to testing, a 2 to 5 minute lower body warm-up should be completed. Equipment for this test includes a yardstick and a piece of tape measured to about 10 to 12 inches. Like in the previous test, the participant should remove their shoes and sit down with a straight posture and legs flat out in front of them. The yardstick will be placed in between their legs with the 15 centimeter mark at the soles of their feet. Feet should be 10 to 12 inches away, apart from each other. This is where the tape comes in handy. Place the tape at the 15 centimeter mark and have the participant's feet lay at the ends of the tape. The participant will place their arms in front of them with one hand over the other, then slowly reach forward. The hands must be in contact with the yardstick at all times. Participant should hold the reach for 2 seconds. This test will be done twice, with the furthest distance being recorded. Measurements should be done in centimeters. Participant is a 21-year-old male with a 17 centimeter reach. This classifies him as average. The next test is known as the Thomas test. This test measures flexibility in the hip flexors. The participant will lay in a supine position on a flat surface. The leg that is not being tested will be brought to the chest, pulling the lumbar to the floor. If the tested leg remains in contact with the floor during the maneuver, the hip flexors are considered adequately flexible. If the tested leg rises at any point, the hip flexors are likely to be inflexible. Our participant is shown to be flexible. The next test is the chair sit and reach test. This test measures flexibility in the hamstrings. This test is for older adults with poorer range of motion or lower back pain. One leg will be tested at a time. Equipment used for this test is a standard ruler and a chair 17 inches above the floor. The chair against the wall. Have the participant warm up prior to testing 2 to 5 minutes. Then remove their shoes and have them sit down at the edge of the seat with a straight upright posture. One leg should be extended and dorsiflexed at 90 degrees. The other leg is at 90 degrees bent, flat on the floor, 6 to 12 inches from the midline of the body. Should extend out in front of them with one hand over the other. The participant will then reach out towards their toes. Participant will reach as far as possible and hold for 2 seconds. The ruler will be used to measure the distance from the hands to the feet. The measurement of the hands reaching the feet is measured at 0. If the participant cannot reach the feet, the distance will be considered negative, and if the participant surpasses the feet, the distance will be marked as positive. Record to the nearest ½ inch, switch legs, and repeat. Participant's distance was considered +3. The final test is known as the straight leg raise test. This measures the flexibility in the hip extensors. The equipment used for this test is a goniometer. The participant should be in a supine position with back pressed down into the mat or floor. The tester will lift one leg into the hip flexion position. The other leg will remain laying straight on the floor. The angle of the flexion will be measured by placing the goniometer on the great trochanter. The baseline will remain the same, while the other arm will move with the leg. Here, the participant's flexibility is at 90 degrees. This is considered acceptable. When done measuring on one leg, switch to the opposite leg. The following references were used in the making of this video. Thanks for watching!